Okay, standing tall, spread the toes, pull the tummy in. Can we roll the shoulders up, back and down? Let me see what this message says. Hands on shoulders, elbows forward, up, back and down. Breathing in to lift and out to roll. Breathing in and out. One more time, breathing in and out. Bring the arms down and then move slowly through side bend. So drawing the hand up on one side, reaching away with the other arm. Good. So lateral flexion, releasing the spine, stretching through the sides of the waist. Now reverse this arm, bring it over the top. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. Couple more. And last one. Good. Coming down to the pelvis, grip the hips, soften the knees. Start to move through pelvic tilt, drawing the belly button in, softening down the tailbone. We often need quite a few of these. Lower back gets very stiff overnight. And just one more. Good. Can we pull up through the thighs, neutral pelvis, sway forward and balance. Let's go higher with the arms if we can. As when you drop your heels, if you can just lift your toes and stretch them out. Breathing in to lengthen. Breathing out to drop the heels and spread the toes. Makes me want to spread my fingers as well. Come on down. And just one more. Super. Nice big rotation there. And then hands on shoulders, feet shoulder width. Tummy in. Breathe in. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, come center. Breathe out, rotate. So, hips are forward. Ideally, we don't want them to move, but if the lower back is stiff, they are going to need to move, so don't force them to stay. But make sure you're leading from the top of the spine, working your way down. Two more. So let's finish with one to the left, depending on where you are. And then just give everything a shake there. Let's stand on the left foot, take the right foot in front, and we'll flex and point slowly. So just keep that moving. Just tip my screen a little bit. I'm not putting my feet off. Rotate if you're not there already. And go the other way. And relax, change, forward and lift, flex and point. Rotate. Go the other way. And relax, give them a shake. Good. Let's pull the tummy in, spread the toes, sway forward, come up on your toes and balance here, and then let's have some foot pedals. So we start to stretch through the feet, but the same time we stabilize the pelvis, so no hitching of the hip. Watch, that's not happening. Tummy pulled in. Now, as you do that, guys, can you turn your head to the side? So slow the whole thing down. Turn the head. Doesn't matter which way it's going, whichever way feels natural. Couple more. Oh, that makes it much harder. And relax. Good. Give everything a shake. Feet fairly narrow. Small step forward on the right foot. So toe and heel are lined up but not touching. Hands behind the back. Tummy in. Long spine for a hip hinge. So leading with the chest. Squeezing the glutes to come up. So this is led by you. By how tight the hips are. By how strong the back is feeling this morning. So don't worry if you're down when I'm up, doesn't matter. Come to where your personal stretch is. If it feels good to hold it, you can hold it. If it feels good to move slowly through it, then that's what we're doing. One more here, please. And then come on up with the weight central. Leave that foot in front. Can we balance to the side? Put the palms to me, thumbs on top. All the way up if you can. Still with that same leg in front. Down we go. Now, we'll rock back, pick up the toes. Start to stretch the calf of the front leg. Breathing in. Good. So we're picking up the ball of the foot as well. Press the heel down. Up, breathe in. Stabilize the ankles. Come on down. Pick up the toes. Last one. Relax, change feet. Left foot forward, toe and heel lined up but not touching. Hands behind the back along spine. Forward we go. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lead with your chest. And hold it there. And then coming up slowly. So we always want the head to be higher than the hips and shoulders. We want the abs engaged, the shoulder blades drawn down and back, and the shape of the spine mustn't change, otherwise the load will move from the legs to the back. Want to be mainly feeling it up the hamstring of the front leg. So last one. Leaving your feet where they are. Release the hands, arm float to the side, palms forward, thumbs on top, balancing at the top, coming back, rocking back onto the heel of the front foot. So we're not just stretching the toes, we're lifting the ball of the foot to stretch through the calf. Good, so thinking about ankle stability. How much height can you get through those feet? Can you go a little bit higher? One more time. And relax. Give everything a good shake. Super. Pick up your weights for me now, please. So let's come into squat. Feet shoulder width apart. And then we want a hip hinge as we did, but not as big. Knee bend, sitting backwards and downwards. Coming up, and just a bicep curl. So let's focus on the squat and curl first. Hinge, sit back. So we just want to be thinking about warming up the knee and the elbow joint. Now, if you're ready to pulse, you can add a pulse. If your knees are a bit creaky at this point, perhaps just stay with the squat. So this is going to be led by you again. If you're up and I'm down, doesn't matter. Squatting, option to pulse, and add one curl. You can do a couple more. Guys, when you've finished your last one, static shoulder press from here. Now you can do singles or doubles. Please watch you're not arching, tail under, knees soft. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down, row up the body. So just separating the shoulders from the squat and curl. Shoulders are back, tail is tucked. Got 4 more here, and then we're going to go back and repeat that sequence. So 2, 3, and 4. Coming down to my squat once again. So just a single squat or a squat with 3 or 4 pulses. Coming up and just the curl, no press. Just going to work the shoulders separately. Two more. And last one. Coming to shoulders, up we go, press. So tuck your tail under, pull your tummy in. Try not to let the elbows drop too low. We don't want the shoulders to switch off. So just dropping the elbows to just below shoulder height. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down, weights together, rowing singles or doubles. Shoulders back, chest lifted for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Brill. Release your shoulders, get rid of one weight, please. So one weight in 2 hands. Slide the toe, lift the knee in the arms, and come down and change legs. Toe slide, knee lift, breathe out. Coming down. We're going to add rotation. Now, if your weight feels very heavy, you can swap this out for a band, or you can just do it with your arms. So adding the weight will make you feel a bit more wobbly when you rotate, but it'll challenge your balance more, give you better core engagement. Two more. Last one. Super, guys. From here, just leaving the weight in the hand. Arms are not really doing anything. Put your right toe behind you and tip and lift the leg. Not too far. Squeeze the glute. Come down and tap the toe. Straight line from head to heel. Tip and balance. Coming back. My standing leg is soft. Please don't lock it. Keep the knee soft. Keep the tummy pulled in. So just doing 4 slowly. This is my number 3. Whoops. Spreading the toes on the standing foot. Just shake that off and try it on the other leg. Toe behind you as your start. Straight line head to heel. Hinge. So your standing leg, spread the toes, pull up the thigh, soften the knee, and squeeze the glutes. Feels much easier on this side. Two more here, pull the tummy in, squeeze the buttock, nice relaxed arms and shoulders. Next one is my last one. And relax, super. Shake that out, get rid of that weight. And let's just bring in our band for an upper body stretch before we roll down. So I'm going to fold my band in half, hands fairly narrow, feet fairly narrow. You can put your heels together and turn your toes out. That's more challenging. Squeeze the glutes. Lengthen up, inhale. Exhale, side bend, but we are lengthening, not dropping. Inhaling, exhaling. Now if it feels okay, you can push the hip away. So you can bend the full length of the spine if you like, if it feels okay on the back, or you can squeeze your glutes and just move from the waist if that's what you need. I'm going to do 2 more. I'm going to finish on my left side. And then my arms are going to come down, feet apart. Nice and wide, into my shoulders with a stretch, big circle. So tail tucked under, tummy pulled in, neutral spine. Gradually bringing the hands closer together if they want to go. Drawing my belly button in. Watching I'm not lifting the rib cage. Keeping my tail tucked. It's my last one. Good. Once you finish, pop your band to one side. Just come onto your thighs for me. And keep the upper body, head and shoulders still as you pelvic tilt. So I want you just to stabilize head and neck so that you make sure the movement's coming through the lower back. We often think it's coming from the lower back, but we end up using the upper back. So just target lower back, and then we'll go full spine with a roll down. One more time here. And then we'll roll up. Super. So coming into our full roll down, partial first. Feet parallel. Arms coming up into extension. Lowering the arms, nodding the chin, rounding the shoulders into flexion. I'm focusing on opening in between my rib cage, not stretch there yet. So upper back. Breathing in. Breathing out, rolling up. Arms coming up, inhaling. Exhaling down, nodding the chin, rounding the shoulders, and coming to shin height. I'm going to let my arms hang and have a sway. You can sway your spine if that feels good. Otherwise, just the arms. Breathing in. Breathing out, uncurling, Super. Arms up, inhale. Arms down, exhale. Nodding the chin, rounding the spine and rolling. Coming to ankle height. And just holding or swaying here. If your back doesn't want to stay there, feel free to roll up. Uncurling. I'm going to walk forward into downward dog next. If you want to put your mat down, please do. So this is at your own pace. You might want to hang about in the spine stretch again. It might feel really good. I know it does for me. I'm going to walk forward into downward dog. I'm going to push my weight back, straighten my arms and legs and pedal my feet. If you are ready for plank, you can come to plank. That can be on your hands or elbows, toes or knees. And then I'm going to drop. I'm going to do 2 tricep press-ups or go wider and do 2 chest press-ups if that's better for you. I'm coming back through downward dog. I'm walking in and I'm rolling back up slowly. So I want you to think about spending a minimum of 2 breaths in all of those positions. And if your body's telling you it wants to spend longer in those positions, that's fine, spend longer there. So roll down, downward dog, plank, press up. Option for hands or elbows, toes or knees, and spending as little or as much time in each of those positions as you want to. So we're going to do at least 2 more sets there. Guys, when you come up out of your last set, then I want you to set yourself up on the floor. So bring yourself down, but also tip your screen if you can, please. Guys, once you're on the floor, we'll have cat stretch or shell stretch. We'll release our wrists, release our shoulders. So just come into whatever position feels correct for you, and then bring yourself down with all your bits and bobs. So once we're in position, let's set ourselves up on all fours. Spread the fingers. Just rock the weight forwards and backwards with a flat back. See how that feels for your weight to move all into your arms or all into your legs. And then settle where you can feel the weight is even between the legs and the hands. So from here, staying on the right side, we're going to breathe in. We're going to stretch right arm and left leg away from us. Arm is going in front. Guys, from here, same arm. Can you take it to the side as the leg goes back? And then can you do a tricep press with it? And then take it back out to the side. So 4 directions. Let's go back and try that on the left side. Arm moving forward as leg goes back. Leg isn't changing. Arm to the side. Arm presses back. And arm goes to the side. So please keep that moving. And what we're trying to do here is just challenge the balance as you move in different directions. Also trying to work the shoulder from all its different angles. And a little bit of brain training, you've got to think about it. Sometimes you have to say it out loud, front, side, back and side. So let's keep it all moving slowly. Leg is moving in the same direction each time. And I want your elbow to stay soft. So don't lock it out. So nearly straight but not quite. All the way around that shoulder girdle. I'm going to do one more set on each side. So please keep moving till you've finished with a set of 4 on your left arm. Think about your spine staying very still. Exhaling as you lengthen. Head in line with spine. Guys, once you've finished, take your time and then come to a cat stretch. So spine has been still. Now we're bringing some movement into it. So finish that sequence first. Then flexion, extension if you can. And then sitting back into shell stretch, arms extended in front, head to the mat. Take some breaths there. Walk your hands to the right corner and pull back. Hold it there and take some breaths. Coming through the center, over to the left, pulling back. Push the bum back, reach the arms forward. Walk the hands in. Support the body weight. Uncurl the spine and come down onto your bottom. So half roll back, get a ball or a cushion behind you, weights either side. Just come forward, have a stretch of your spine. So nice, deep stretch into the lower back there. Uncurl the spine, feet parallel. So holding the backs of the legs if you like, on the sit bones, couple of rolls, see where the ball is, mine just needs a little adjustment. And then inhaling up, exhaling, rolling and rotating. Good. So this first set, all about lengthening the spine, releasing between the discs, switching on the lower abdominals, so long and slow. And then sometimes it just feels nice to stay with that, so if you want to stay with it, please stay with it. But if you're up for a bit of strength, you can add a dumbbell into the mix. You can progress to 4 rotations and you might want to lift the opposite foot. So all working the body in slightly different ways, so just do what's right for you. Sometimes if the hip flexors are tight, Doesn't feel good to lift your legs, so you might want to leave it down, and that's fine. So you might be happier with singles or fours. So please just give me one more set of whatever option you've chosen. See all the way through, abs, back, waist, and then pop your weight to one side and come wide again and into slump stretch. And you should feel the stretch in the lower back, but try to breathe into the back of your rib cage. Uncurl the spine, please, and then come on down onto your back, and you may want something under your head once you're down there. My dumbbells are either side of me. I'm coming down, hugging my knees in, and I'm drawing a circle with my pelvis. Going the other way. So from here, I'm going to go single leg stretch. So stretch one leg away, slowly. Really pull on that other leg. Guys, let's do this a little bit differently today. Can you lift your head and shoulders up? And then can you let go of your legs, bring your fingertips to the base of your skull, support the weight of your head, and get as much height as you can through your shoulder blades without taking your chin to your chest. So keep that gap and keep that lift. And you should feel like you've got quite a strong load there on the abs. Now, try to just take your knee over your hip instead of all the way into your tummy. If that gives you back pain, then you do want to pull it all the way in. But otherwise, knee over hip, head and shoulders lifted, space between the chin and the chest. Try to keep the shoulder blades off the floor if possible. 5, 4, oh, feeling that. 3, 2, and 1. Come on in, well done. Full body stretch. Out we go. And hold it there. So my back is arched away from the mat. I'm stretching my tummy. And I'm taking some breaths there. Bring your arms over. Draw your legs in one at a time. Super. Put your feet and knees together, arms out to the side, palms up, dropping knees to the right, whole of the left foot leaves the floor, head turns to the left as we breathe in. We pull down on the tummy, breathe out to come back. Do this slowly to give your body time to release. Rolling to the left, whole of the right foot leaves the floor. Head turns right as I breathe in. As I breathe out, I pull down on my tummy and I come back. Let's keep that moving slowly. Please finish with one to the left. And then come center. And relax there. Good. Bring your spine back into neutral. Feet apart. I'm going to pick up my weights for tricep. I'm going to push them up, Knuckles are on the outside, and then drop your shoulder blades into the mat. Long neck, chin is very slightly nodded, legs are coming up if that's right for your back. When you're ready, single tricep press, dumbbell to ear. Watch that you're not flicking the wrist. So wrist in line with forearm. Movement is coming from elbow joint, not wrist joint. If you're happy with that, toe tap the opposite leg or single leg stretch the opposite leg. Every time the dumbbell coming close to the ear, the elbow pointing to the ceiling, the non-moving knee must be over your hip rather than your abdominals unless there is back pain. So don't let the knee come over the tummy, that switches the abdominals off. Double tricep is okay. If your shoulders are fine with this, if your weights are not too heavy. Elbows are pointing to the ceiling and watching we're not flicking the wrists. Good. Let's keep it moving. Like 4 more, please. Nice and slow. Take your time. Once you have finished your set, you can pop your dumbbells to the floor and then just get some movement in your back any way you like. So you can hug, you can tilt, you can roll or stretch. But we want the back to move. It's just been in a fixed position and now it needs to move. I'm coming to an open knee hip roll next. So just relaxing into that if you're not there already. Good. So I'm now going to put my ball or my hog between my knees or my feet. Cushion will do, anything you've got to hand there. So knees a little bit easier, toes up a little bit harder, hands on the rib cage. Knees are bent or soft, but they are over hips. So 45 degrees to the right on an in-breath, breathing out, coming back. So we want to start this with a fairly small range of movement. Have a think about where you're feeling it. So I can feel my back's quite stiff this morning and I've got that more in my back than my front, but I can feel that it's only stiffness, not pain. So I'm going to start to push it a bit further and hopefully it will start to release. Something might click or crunch. Arms coming up, shoulders are down. Dropping to one side. Arms moving the opposite way if you can, but shoulders are not lifted. Good. So I am corkscrewing through the middle of my waist. Breathing in as I drop and out as I lift. Not lifting too many of my ribs because that's going to go definitely more into the back and less into the abs. We want to feel like we're wringing out our waist for the weekend. So we can get our belt a knot tighter, a notch tighter even. A couple more of those, please. I want you to make sure you finish with one to the left and centre. And then once you finish, coming back, getting rid of your equipment. Good. Give your knees a bit of a hug in a circle. And then just put the soles of your feet together on the floor. Can you just maybe give your knees a little bit of a limber? Maybe rock the pelvis there, arms out to the side or down by the side of the body, but nice and relaxed. Super. So let's stay here. Get our spine into a neutral position with the feet together. Now, your back might be arching a little bit more than normal, and that's okay. That's your natural arch, particularly if you're a bit tight through the hips. So from here, let's go for some short range pelvic tilts. Whilst our hips are opening, let's activate the pelvic floor. So very subtle, pull down on the belly button first, pull up through the pelvic floor, press the feet together, and finally switch on the glutes. Don't let them lift off the floor. Bum is still on the mat, but it's switched on. Then everything relaxes. Good. So the arch comes back under my back, and then I pull down on my belly button, pull up on my pelvic floor. I can feel that makes my pelvis start to tilt. I'm going to press my feet, squeeze my glutes. My spine has imprinted but not lifted. Everything relaxes. I come back to my own personal neutral position. From there, pulling down on the belly button, up on the pelvic floor, pressing the feet. Squeeze the glutes. Guys, you can hover your bum just a smidge off the floor, a centimetre, no more than that. And then come on down slowly and gradually switch everything off. Don't let it all go floppy, but just switch it off gradually. So please keep following that sequence. It is important that you switch your glutes on last. They're a bigger, stronger muscle and they tend to take over, and that's why the other muscles stop working as well as they should. So belly button, pelvic floor, feet, glutes, we tilt, and a small lift if we can. Good. Now it's really important that we have that sequence so that our pelvic floor is working efficiently. It holds in all of those organs that are above it, and it's not very strong. So we're going to keep moving with this, guys, at your own pace. And if you can start to lift your bum a little bit higher, do. You may get to a point where you need to bring your knees up and your feet on the floor. And so we are going to eventually roll up into a shoulder bridge, and you are going to need your feet on the floor for that. So with that in mind, I'm going to take my head block away. And I'm just going to continue with the soles of my feet together for a couple more, but I'm going to lift as high as my bottom rib because I can do that comfortably with my knees out. And it's really going to depend on the flexibility through your hips. But as I start to go higher, I'm going to need to bring my knees up and my feet hip width apart. Now it's up to you. You might decide, actually I need to work more on my lower back, my hips and my pelvic floor, and you might want to stay with the soles of your feet together. But if you like that extension through the back of the rib cage, then knees are up, feet are down, and you are rolling higher. But the sequence is the same. We are firing up the abdominals and the pelvic floor. I'm going to add my arms into my shoulder bridge. And that feels really good. Now that I've released the lower back, I can follow that through much more smoothly. Guys, let's just have one more of whatever option you've chosen. Knees up or out to the side, feet on the mat or on each other, pressing, and coming high or low, depending on what feels good there for you. And then once you've finished, perhaps put something back under your head. And then because your spine's just been in extension, it needs to come into flexion. So hug your knees in and just circle your pelvis around. And then put your feet on the floor. take your arms out to the side, cross your right leg tightly over your left leg as though you need a wee. Cross it tightly rather than have the hip open, and then just rock that gently right and left, and you'll get a deeper stretch through your hip and back. It might be too much. If it's giving you hip or knee pain, go back to feet and knees together, but that tight cross leg position if you can, to stretch your bum and your lower back after that bridge. I'm going to change legs. Just breathing steadily as you go. Once you feel you've done an equal amount on both sides, hop your feet together and come on over onto all fours for me, please. We're going to do thread the needle. So back should be nice and warm, so okay to do this with equipment if you wish. I'm going to bring my dumbbell in my right hand. My body weight is on my left hand. My fingers are spread. My left leg is out to the back and it's straight. Watch all the weight doesn't move backwards. Get weight into the arm. When you are ready, we are opening the chest, pushing up, coming down and threading the needle. So when you are working with a weight, guys, do draw it back in. Don't come down with a straight arm. Draw it in before you thread it through. Otherwise, it's a bit too much load on the shoulder and the neck. So it's more of a push-pull if you're using the dumbbell. If you're using the band, it is more of a straight arm rotation. Make sure your weight's not tracking back. Get that one arm press up in there if you can. Keep it long and slow. Eyes are following hand. Got two more on that side, please. As when you've done your last one, just get rid of the weight, give your spine a little stretch. And then we'll change to the other side. So weight is in the left hand, right leg is extended with a straight knee, body weight transfers forward, spread the fingers. So more of a push-pull if you're using the dumbbell, more of a long arm if you are using the band. And the shoulders might not be the same from right to left, so feel free to work just with your body weight if you're not happy with the dumbbell. So the weight will start to migrate backwards. Get it forwards if you can. If your wrist and elbow are okay with that much body weight on them. Good. Got two more on that side, please. Guys, once you have finished, cat stretch or shell stretch, both if you like. Might want to release your wrists. Might want to rest on your head and take your hands to your ankles to relax the shoulders and the upper back. Take a couple of breaths. Hands to the side of the knees, support the weight. Uncurl the spine. We are going full roll back next. So I know most of you are happy with what level you can do this at, so go into it at whatever level you feel right for you. So you can start with bent knees or straight legs. You can start with or without your band. And you might want back support or head support. But whichever one you're doing, it's a slow roll down with the spine. Minimum of 3 breaths in and out. So muscular endurance, not strength, not momentum, not power. Muscular endurance, whole length of the muscle running from the rib cage to the pubic bone. Feel it connect. Make sure you restack your spine in between each one. Option to work with the band in the hands or the dumbbell in the hands. Option to add forward flexion if your back is happy with that. So we want segmental control of the spine. If you're using the band or the dumbbell, you're trying to hold it at eye level as you roll up and down, not really above the head because that's a bit stressful on the back. So I'm extending and then the band is coming eye level as I roll. Sorry about the noise, I think the bin men have arrived. Might be good to add rotation on the way down. Possibly should have mentioned that earlier. Last set. It's going to finish in the seated position. When you finish that last set, come into slump stretch and relax there. Take some breaths and we'll finish with a leg stretch. So uncurling when you're ready, lying down with some head support and taking the band around the right foot. So let's try, guys, a little bit differently. Let's try and loosen the hip up first, and hopefully that'll give us a better hamstring stretch. So get your leg quite straight and draw it in, and then just move through a circle or a sway. So let's get a bit of movement in the hip before we hold the stretch. So let it move freely first. And then bring it back to center and pull into your point of tension. And hopefully that should be a bit better. Push the heel up and push the bum down if you're ready to do that. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring the whole leg a bit close. I'm going to shorten my band, get a deeper stretch. Pull the toes back and spread them out if you can. Maybe give them a little wiggle. And then let's take one more breath in. And as we breathe out, draw that whole leg a bit closer one more time. Let's change legs. So left leg in the band, pulling into hamstring, sliding right leg away, and then just moving that leg. So sway or circle. Just see where it feels tightest. Anything that's limiting your outer or inner thigh, hamstring or hip flexor. Just moving freely. And then coming and holding in the center and pulling the whole thing in. Holding there, push the bum down, push the heel up. Get the back of the knee a bit straighter if it's not too painful. Take a breath in, breathe out, pull the whole leg. Maybe make the band shorter. Can you spread your toes and try to move them individually? Take one more breath in, breathe out, pull on the leg, but push the tailbone down. And relax. Well done. Get rid of that band. And then come on over onto all fours, please. Super. So let's just hold a cat stretch to release the lower back. Tuck the tail round the shoulders, pull the belly button in, look through the legs. And then relax to neutral, tuck your toes under. Come on up into downward dog and hold. And hopefully those hamstrings should feel looser, mine do. Straighten the arms. Start to walk the hands in. Just come up at your own speed with bent knees and a curved spine. And stand tall, please. And stretch up, breathe in. Breathe out, come across to the right. Stretch up, breathe in. Breathe out, come across to the left. Come center. Drop the arms down. Shoulder roll. Good. Give that spine a nice big rotation. And thank you very much indeed. Come on in.